The winter meetings have come and gone, but there's still an awful lot left of this offseason and a lot of business to still get squared away. Manny Machado is one of those names, and it's circulated the last few days, 2-3 days, that maybe something gets done with the Orioles and another team by the end of the week. Is this something that you think actually does get done, that the Orioles part ways before free agency with Manny Machado?
I mean, I think they have to seriously consider it. I'm not sure the timeline is this week, because this is going to be obviously a guy they want to make sure that, you know, we've heard they have 6, 8, 10 teams interested. You want to try to play those teams off each other and get as much as you possibly can for a guy like this, who's been your franchise player. This will not be a popular decision in Baltimore, but probably a necessary one. The Orioles know that they're way behind the Yankees, they're way behind the Red Sox, they're pretty much behind the Blue Jays. So them and the Rays are kind of jockeying for 4th right now. The best way for them to try to start their build back is to trade this guy and bring in some real young talent.
Think it happen?
I do. I think it can happen before spring training for sure. I think maybe even the next couple of weeks, to be honest with you, because for the Orioles to really fix their pitching, I don't think there's enough money for them to go establish that with answers in the next couple of weeks, or at least be down the road enough. So I'm looking at another 75-win team, and Manny Machado is not signing an extension. I don't think he's re-signing there. So why not put him out there, see what you can get? I think it makes perfect sense. Yeah, the Orioles fans won't like it. I think they'd like it less by watching another bad team, which is what they became in the last 4 months of last season, with Machado then leaving and having nothing to show for it. I had never thought of this until the White Sox jumped in. I actually like that idea of the White Sox, even on a rental basis, because they're like the Phillies. They're ready to turn a corner very quickly, and they'll have the money to spend. They'll be in it on Machado on the free agent market. So why not have him all year long so he knows about this young core that's coming along around him, gets familiar with the franchise in the city? I'm not saying he says, okay, I want to re-sign, but it gives you a better shot. You're the incumbent at that point. I would be careful about the price that I pay for renting him. But it sounds crazy. Why would a team that's not ready to win rent a guy? Well, if you think it leads to signing him, take a shot. I like it.
I think it is hard on the fans. It can be sometimes a disservice to the player. But I think in this case, it's very important. And I think the fans can get over it depending on who you get back. And when you got a player like Machado, who's going to be worth $35 million or more in a contract, that's a guy you're not going to be able to re-sign and really help your ball club. So the only way to get Baltimore back is to take their biggest piece, their most popular piece, one of the best players in the game, and go out and get a bundle for him. I remember it was Mark Teixeira and the Texas Rangers, and that trade from the Braves, the young players over to Texas, Teixeira over to Atlanta, that changed the Texas Rangers franchise for 5 or 6 years. Every postseason we saw them in. That's the kind of trade they're looking for in Baltimore.